All right, guys, look, we're going to have to make this part 2 of the Amana communicating system because I haven't been able to get good video. I've got bits and pieces, but it would just make a horrible video. It would be no point to load it. Guys, I am pissed to the max right now. Let's make a long story short. When we were called out for no communication, okay? So we ran through test after test. I tried everything that I knew to do without calling technical support. None of it worked. I called technical support. They made me run test after test. Nothing worked, okay? Nothing worked. So I said, screw it. I am gonna get rid of communicating and wire it up, non-communicating regular 24-volt circuit. So I just got done doing that. Sure enough, everything worked beautiful. Blower motor fired up, had voltage to the condenser, but the condenser would not come on. So I said, okay, why is the condenser not coming on? So I started looking at my board and I had a flash code. All right. So I looked at my control panel. I said, okay, let's see what this code means. So I identified my blinks, looked at it, said that the system was out on low pressure. Okay, so I figured maybe the thing was just low on gas, had a leak in the evaporator, you know. That's Goodman for you, or Amana. I like those people that say, it's not a Goodman, it's an Amana. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. It's an Amana. Like, it's so different. Anyway, so I put the gauges on it, you know. Gonna go ahead and, you know, gas it up, you know, and then come back and do a leak check later. My goal was just to get these people some air. But guess what? This sumbitch didn't have a drop of Freon in it. It was empty. So I go and I get the nitrogen tank. I start loading it up with nitrogen, and long and behold, the compressor blew its terminals. So we got a dead compressor. This has been, I have never, ever had a system that has had so much shit wrong with it. It's just unbelievable. I have given Goodman chance after chance, 2 chances. When I was working for my father and his business partner, I was the foreman of the HVAC side of the business. My dad would pretty much let me make my own decisions. I chose to quit selling York because it was going to hell because of Johnson Controls, and chose to start selling Amana. Goodman and Amana, same thing. Well, things were good at first. Then we started the leaky coil era from 08, 09. So I quit selling it. Went back to York. Left my dad and his partner, and my dad followed me. Started off, continued with York. Things got really, really bad with York. Dropped York. Did Train for about 3 months. Can't really say I had a whole lot of trouble with Train. Really didn't. It just overpriced and not worth the price. Gave Amana another shot. Amana sales rep came and said, "Hey man, things have changed since you were working for your father." Okay, what's changed? Well, we got all aluminum coils now. We just redesigned our air handler. We got the smart frame air handler. We don't have the reversing valve problem anymore. We're not letting whoever it was make our reversing valves anymore. We got I can't remember who they said's making their reversing valves now. All right, sounds good. I'll give it another shot because I did like the equipment. I thought it was good looking equipment. And I was a fan of the Smart Frame air handler. It was a nice air handler. Give it a shot. Again, things were great at first, and then it all went sour again. Reversing valve, couple reversing valve problems. Just a lot of knick-knack stuff. Losing the capacitors within 6 months to a year. Just a lot of knick-knack stuff, you know, and you know, the two stations I put in, I've had minor trouble with the communicating systems, with the communication side of the system, but nothing to what I just dealt with on this one. Nothing like that. I've had to go in there and make some adjustments to the thermostat, make a couple adjustments to some dip switches, and I've solved the communication system and never been back on them. Knock on wood or something. You know, I don't want to, because now that I said that, there's I'm pointing at a Amana 2-stage that I installed right there too. And my luck, they'll call me next week. So, pray to the good Lord that doesn't happen. But anyway. And the bad part about it is that you call Goodman Technical Support, okay, and what the test they made me run is they made me take the thermostat off the wall and hook it and go to the attic and hook it up with a short piece of wire to the board and see if the thermostat would identify the air handler, and it did. I was even able to run the blower motor right there with the thermostat in my hand. Okay, so I unhooked it, went outside. He said, okay, now go, and then, well, we hung up the phone, but before we hung up, he told me to do that. Then he told me to go to the outside unit and do the same thing and see if it identifies the outside unit. He said, go to system and see if it says, you know, cool, off, and heat. He said, and then it should pop up, no blower detected. Okay, sure enough, went outside, hooked it up, went to system. I was able to see cool, off, heat. And then I had a big orange code that said no blower detected, just like he said. Everything working fine. Okay, so I called him back. Hey man, I did what you told me. It identified both pieces of equipment. He said, okay, well, your low voltage wire is bad. You need to run new low voltage wire from the condenser to the air handler, from the air handler to the stat. All right, whatever you say, dude, no problem. So I did it. New low voltage wire from the condenser to the air handler, and then new low voltage wire from the air handler to the stat. Put the stat back on the wall, guess what? Same fucking code. No, the system has lost connection to the fucking network. So, I didn't call the guy back because I was so pissed off that I probably would have ended up cussing him out, and then they would have quit helping me. So I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna go non-communicating, and just like I said in the beginning of this video, that's what I did, and it worked great. The blower came on right from the thermostat. I put the system on cool. The blower came on. I had 24 volts going outside. I had 24 volts between common, common and Y1, common and Y2. It was calling for second stage, and then I had voltage between common and O for the reversing valve to energize the reversing valve, but it wouldn't start because the low pressure switch had the motherfucker cut off, because your equipment is a fucking piece of shit. If somebody from Goodman, whether it be from the Goodman store here in town or from Houston, I would fucking knock your head off your shoulders. Y'all suck. Y'all can't get it right. Nothing that y'all build that y'all ever get right. All the other manufacturers, ICP Carrier, Train, American Standard, Carrier, I think I already said Carrier, Ream, Rude, they're years ahead of y'all. And hell, I think even Nordine's I'm gonna have to say it. I think Nordine's a better piece of equipment than fucking Goodman and Amana. Goodman and Amana, they claim that they're not at the bottom of the barrel anymore, but they are. Goodman and Amana is the bottom of the fucking HVAC equipment barrel. Nothing they make lasts. I think the older Goodmans, the old brown turds, were better than the ones that they build today. I really do. They can't get it right. Either they make a good air handler and a shitty condenser, or they fuck up the condensers and make a good air handler, or they make a fuck up the air handler and make a good condenser. They can't get it right. Whoever is designing that equipment is a fucking dumbass. I mean, the ICP stuff I sell, Goodman doesn't hold a candle to it. My builder's model ICP equipment, the end model, is better than Amana's top line model. Guys, I'm sorry for the language. I'm aggravated. No, I'm pissed, okay? I'm beyond aggravated. I praised Goodman in my videos. I've defended Goodman in some of my videos. I'm not afraid to admit that, because I know somebody will say, oh, well, in this video you were talking good about Goodman. Yeah, I know I was. I really was. Because I really thought that they had finally put out a good piece of equipment, but I was wrong. And I'm a man. I'm not afraid to admit that I made a mistake. I'm not scared at all. So if you want to call me out on my past videos of praising Goodman and Amana, hey, go ahead. I'm not afraid. I made a mistake. This is a really mellow customer. I mean, I don't think this guy has a mean bone in his body. He's cool. He's like, all right, man, whatever. It's not your fault. And most people won't say that. Most people, they look back on you, not to manufacture. And most people don't do that. But this guy is just so extremely mellow. Thank God for that, because most people aren't. I refuse to do business with the Goodman store here in town, and they refuse to do business with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another supply house here in town that has the Goodman line. They don't have the Amana line, and I'm going to get him a Goodman 2-stage condenser, because it's all the same on the inside. Because like I said, Goodman won't do business with me. I don't do business with them. There's no way I can go in that store right now. I would end up going to jail if I went in that store next week. I'd go to jail. I really would. So it's best that I not even go in there. My guy at the I'm not gonna say the name. It's called Southern Pipe. Some of you guys have a Southern Pipe. Some of you don't. They're a plumbing and a heating and air supply house, and they have the Goodman line. I'll just, instead of getting a ASZC16, I'll get a DSZC16. Same unit, just a different color, and has a Goodman sticker. But I'll throw an Amana sticker on it for him. That way he doesn't, say, oh, well, why'd you give me a Goodman, you know? But anyway, I apologize for the language, guys, but that's what's going on with this job. Homeowners, if you're watching this video, I know cussing like this can reflect bad on you. Believe me, I'm not a bad guy, but I'm really upset. I really am. I try not to cuss on these videos, but when you get as upset as I am about the situation, it's hard. Homeowners, if you're watching this video in other states or in other parts of Louisiana that I can't service you, and you need a new heating and air system, and you call out a company and you ask them what kind of equipment do you put in, if they say Goodman or Amana, you need to tell them to get the fuck out of your house. Or if you really like that guy, you know, or I mean, well, I take that back. I mean, you can't reflect that on the guy. He may be a hell of a technician, but you need to tell him, hell no, you ain't putting no fucking Goodman or Amana in this house. I like you, I like your work, but you're gonna sell me another brand. And pretty much tell him anything but Goodman or Amana, because you don't want to go through the nightmare that my customer's going through right now. Trust me. Because believe it or not, we don't like it either, the contractor or me, but believe me, I'm going to have a horrible rest of my weekend because of this shit. I really am. Because this is all I'm going to be able to think about is these poor people. Because now they're going to spend their weekend, they spent a night in a hotel last night, and they're going to do it again tonight and Sunday night and Monday night. Because I probably won't be able to get to them until Tuesday. I don't like that. You know, it bothers me. So I'm gonna have a shitty weekend for the rest of the weekend. I really am. Because this is all I'm gonna be able to think about. This is all I'm gonna be able to think about all weekend long. And then this coming Friday, a week from yesterday, my daughter's gonna be born. So now I got that too. So now I have to worry about these poor people and watching my wife, because my wife could go to labor at any time now. We are a scheduled C-section for Friday morning, but she could go into labor at any time now because she's so close. My goal is to get these people some air conditioning by Tuesday, take care of my wife for the rest of the week, get her to the hospital Friday morning so our daughter can be born. Goodman, there's a saying that says, I wish you nothing but the best. But to you, I wish y'all nothing but the worst. Oh, and for anybody out there that thinks just because Daikin bought Goodman, if you think that Goodman is using Daikin's technology, you're stupid. Daikin is using Goodman's technology. A Daikin air conditioning unit is nothing but a fucking Goodman that's painted tan with a Daikin logo. Daikin, their mini splits are good, but their regular forced air systems, they're not good, because they are a Goodman with tan paint and a blue Daikin logo. That's it. There is no difference. So don't think that just because Daikin bought Goodman, that has made Goodman any better. Because I've actually seen where Goodman is getting worse since Daikin bought them. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I didn't offend anybody with the language, but y'all needed to hear this. We'll see you guys on the next video.